For months, every time I have been making a YouTube video, I will look in the YouTube audio library and just get some of the free music in there for background music. And lately I've been thinking, I'm a musician, I could probably make one of these myself. So I have not done this ever before. So in this video, I wanted to kind of summarize everything that I'm going to learn as I make one track of background music that is totally original for my own YouTube. So I am a semi-noob at this. I have done, a lot of recording and overall some kind of production type stuff, but I have never done anything that is supposed to be more soundtrack-like. So some overall thoughts as I go into this is I'm going to try to do something that's a little bit more on the electronic-y kind of side of it, maybe have some cool chorus guitar sounds and a fun little beat. And just kind of looking through just my audio library of things I have been using, it seems like most of them are kind of having different parts of it. So I'll have sort of a lower dynamic part up to a bigger dynamic part and about in the normal song range of 3.5-ish minutes. So let's go ahead and jump into it. And I'm going to just kind of break down what I am learning as I'm doing this. It might turn out really, really horrible. And in that case, I'll show it to you and you can comment all your bad thoughts at the bottom. Just kidding. Okay, let's get into it. So like I mentioned, I have already used some different things from the YouTube audio library. I would love to create something that is inspired by some of the artists on MusicBed. This is a site that is constantly recommended as I'm researching how to make YouTube videos. And so I'm just gonna go through here and find a little bit of inspo and see overall about sort of the structure of songs, and as I'm writing parts, what I should do that's different from writing a normal song versus writing for YouTube, which is, I guess, kind of like writing for film or anything. Genres, okay. Indie pop, that feels like a genre I like. So let's just listen through a few of these. Okay, so here we got kind of like a slower intro going up that's kind of more beat-based. Some cool MIDI sounds. All right, some ambient sounds. Okay, so from just going through some of these, I think the first thing I'm gonna need to think about is kind of the composition of it. And I am not going to stick to a standard composition. I'm going to, I think, do something that's more like a long intro, then a build on that intro, then a big kind of chorus with maybe a different guitar part type thing. I'm gonna go maybe into a bridge, so sort of a B part more, and then go back to that chorus for the outro. So something a little bit different than I might normally do for a song. And so I'm gonna start off by sort of creating a guitar part, and I'm going to build on that. Okay, so I'm going to start off by just creating one lick that's kind of going to be my lead lick here. I'm going to be adding a lot of effects through Logic just so I can change them around and I'm not tied to anything. So I'm going to be doing this lick that I thought of the other day that I thought was kind of cool. So I have some overdrive on. It's in the key of F sharp, which is kind of weird, but I like how it sounded with this open B string. So here's how the lick goes that I think I'm gonna use as my lead lick and just loop that as I add other parts, and then probably add a B part just so it's not too similar throughout. So that's how my lick goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off by recording that, and then I will add in my parts. So as I was thinking about it, I do want something as it comes in that is a really just low dynamic. So I think next I'm gonna be just adding in some simple swells. think that probably my biggest tip for thinking about your parts here is trying to add in something that's not too complicated. This is different than a regular song, for me at least, where a regular song, I'd want something that's really, has something different that sort of catches your ear. And for this, it's gonna be in the background. So I want there to maybe be something that sounds signature to it, but I don't want there to be anything distracting. So normally I would add a big solo, and I think I'm gonna skip that for this. So altogether, after I was done with this, I just showed it to my husband, and he did have some ideas for bass and drums, and he is an actual bassist. And so I think he's just a lot tighter on the rhythm section than me. So he did help me think of a few different parts. He kept kind of my hi-hat part on my drums, but he changed the kick and snare pattern, and I like it a lot better than what I did. It just sounds a lot more fun. And then he also added some really cool bass parts that are not through just a MIDI bass. He just actually played on there. So I got some terrible footage of him doing that. So now I think that this thing's all done. So I'm gonna go ahead and EQ it. Okay, so I've done some basic EQ just to kind of balance everything, and then panned things. So I did, the guitars in different directions, and I kept my bass and my drums just in the middle here. So overall, I think I feel pretty good about where this went, and it's kind of a fun, different way to add a bit of originality to my videos, having a bit of my own background music. So overall, this has been very fun. I'm going to post the link of my full song at the bottom there. Again, I'm not a professional mixer or masterer, so this is just kind of gonna be in the background just for personal use to have something that is very much my style in it. So let me know if you have any thoughts, or if you have any links to your own music that you've done for your YouTube, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this.